With Brooke Taylor live in Austin, Texas, and I guess those Democrats did not show up today.
Hi, guys. Yeah, breaking news to give you right off the top of the show here. We just found out that enough Democrats did not show up to meet that quorum, which is really no surprise because these Democrats haven't been shy about this. They've been on camera. We've heard press conference after press conference as they remain in these blue states, backed by their governors, saying that they refuse to come here. They want to wait this out until the end of the two-week special session. A few hours ago, they even held a press conference in Illinois instead of being here in Austin, Texas. Take a listen to what some of them had to say.
What Trump is doing right now in terms of federalizing local police force, what Governor Abbott is doing using the state guard, what Ken Paxton and John Cornyn are doing, calling in the FBI. This is all together one piece. This is about the rise of authoritarianism in our country.
So we've been tested this week. We've been threatened. But we stand more committed than ever in our goal. Because the truth is, Texans don't quit.
And, you know, Republicans have made many threats. We have arrest warrants that were issued. The Texas House Speaker and the Attorney General working to enforce those in California and Illinois. They've tried to take legal action to have them removed from office. We even have the FBI on the ground trying to assist in tracking them down. But clearly these threats are not working. You have them in front of cameras again, not shying away, saying they're not going to be here. And Representative Gene Wu there even called it a joke. He said these lawsuits, the arrest warrants are a joke, and Democrats refusing to come back here until the end of the two-week special session. But something important to point out is Texas Governor Greg Abbott says he is just going to keep calling special session after special session, which he's allowed to do. So he says it doesn't matter because as soon as they come back, that's what he's going to do. And last point I want to make is during that press conference, we had one House member say that she has had Texas state troopers outside of her home here in Texas since last night. Guys.
All right, Brooke Taylor with the update for us from there. Brooke, and I guess we're going to hear the Speaker, Dustin Burrows, in a second here. Sandra?
Yeah, let's take a listen here.
Emergency management to improve emergency response across the state. Create the Texas Interoperability Council, which would help local governments acquire key communication equipment to better coordinate response efforts. Assist communities with purchasing and upgrading emergency communication systems. Require outdoor campground facilities to have a flood disaster plan. And create public protections against fraudulent bad actors trying to solicit charitable donations after a disaster. Those bills are set to be on the floor tomorrow. And I know those of us present are eager to take action on them. The only thing standing between Texas and real disaster relief is whether our absent colleagues decide to show up tomorrow. Now, to update you on the process of locating our colleagues and compelling a quorum. The Department of Public Safety has special agents deployed in every region of Texas. The House has deputized dozens of officers and dispatched them across the state. They are set up outside members' homes, conducting surveillance, knocking on doors, calling their phones multiple times a day. So far, no one's home, but the search continues and it will not stop. We also want to thank the public. Many have submitted tips about whereabouts of absent members. For example, over the weekend, we received word of a rally in Fort Worth where a couple of absent members were allegedly making appearance. We took this as actionable intelligence, and DPS was dispatched immediately. Although in this instance, members did not end up being physically present at the event, we will keep following every credible lead until these members return. I have asked DPS to establish a tip line to receive information and leads regarding members' whereabouts if they happen to be in the state. That phone number is 866-786-5972. Let me repeat that for those who wanted to get out a pen and write it down. 866-786-5972. 5972. Understand that we are keeping receipts for every gallon of gas, every mile traveled, and every hour of overtime associated with the pursuit of these missing members. Under Rule 5, Section 3 of the House Rules, those breaking quorum will be held financially responsible for the costs they've created, not the taxpayers. To those absent members, you can go to another city, another state, even another time zone, but you cannot escape your responsibility to the people of Texas. Eventually, you will be here. Tomorrow, when the gavel drops, the question is simple. Will you be in that chair to vote for these critical disaster recovery bills, or will you be remembered as one who did not show up? The choice is yours. Members, the call of the House remains in force. Under House rules, the House may adjourn from day to day. I will provide written permission to be entered in today's journal for each member registered as present during today's session to leave the chamber and return at 10 a.m. Tuesday. Mr. Guerin moves the House stand adjourned until 10 a.m. Tuesday. Is there objection? I hear none. House stands adjourned.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.